And I love that Mr. Pedro Pascal matched Nicolas Cage's energy. That is impossible to do. And I had no idea that Pedro was hiding that. Hey guys, welcome back to Canon Cinema. I'm Amanda, otherwise known as AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Today I will be reviewing The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Yes, it is the Nic Cage film. And I have to say, there's been a Nic Cage renaissance, and I have to admit, I have slowly come around to liking him. It's not like I disliked him. I just never really got into his films. I don't think I've watched that many, to be honest. But this resurgence has made me appreciate him as an actor, especially watching like Pig and then going back and watching Face Off. I know I have to catch up. I even watched Prisoners of the Ghostland, which was a lot of fun. But it's just that I have never really watched many of his films. I mean, Moonstruck is a classic, but I don't really watch Moonstruck for Nicolas Cage. I end up watching it for Cher. So this film, directed by Tom Gormican, is very unique in style. I think that the writing was really strong, and we have Nicolas Cage basically playing himself. He's playing himself while there are other actors around him playing his wife, his child, his agent. And then we have the lovely Pedro Pascal as Yavi, who ends up loving him so much that he hires him for his birthday for like $1 million. He flies him out and all of that. And he genuinely wants Nic Cage to read his screenplay because he does want to make a movie with the great Nicolas Cage. So what I love the most about Massive Talent is that it really just makes Nic Cage the star of this movie. Not because he's the lead, but they use the kick of nostalgia with his other films. They often lean towards his earlier stuff. They have it on televisions. People recognize Nic Cage from like different movies that he's done. And there's like memorabilia around. There's also a Nic Cage double, which is really cool. You see how complex of a person Nicolas Cage is. So he is considered like this washed up actor. He's trying to make a comeback, but they don't call it a comeback. It's like, oh, he's back. It's like, no, honey, I never left. So it's more of like a confidence boost for Nic Cage, even for older actors who feel like they're not getting the same parts as they used to, I think. But you just see how much Nic Cage loves movies. And that is the most endearing thing about Massive Talent, is that he really can talk about it for hours. I mean, like, come on. He is the nephew of Francis Ford Coppola. Like, how does he not love this business? How does he not love talking about it 24/7? He's been exposed to so many different forms of cinema, and you see that in Massive Talent. So this is possibly my favorite Nicolas Cage performance. And I know that I haven't watched that many of his films, but this just felt like the ultimate Nic Cage movie. And again, it's not because it's like really about him and showcasing him as an actor, as a person, and his talents. It has nothing to do with that. It just felt like the definitive Nicolas Cage film. It's like they went into his head and they kind of exposed it on screen. Once Nic Cage gets to the island with Yavi, it becomes a different film. So now while Yavi's writing his screenplay or reworking it with Nicolas Cage, there are other factors that come in because the CIA thinks that Yavi is this drug lord who has kidnapped this girl, and we see that in the opening scene. So they think that he is holding this person captive, and the CIA recruits Nicolas Cage as this like undercover working for them. So I thought it was really funny. Tiffany Haddish is always great. Ike Barinholtz is hilarious. There wasn't enough of like the buddy cop duo. I think that Ike Barinholtz was a bit wasted in this, and I would love to have seen more scenes with him and Nic Cage. I think their energy could have matched. But the most impressive thing about Massive Talent, as they are writing Yavi's screenplay, the tone consistently shifts in the actual film of massive talent, and it crosses genres. They rework it, and I think that that was really cool. I liked how they did that. It made for like different layers, different ways to interact with the script and the dialogue, and I love that Mr. Pedro Pascal matched Nicolas Cage's energy. That is impossible to do, and I had no idea that Pedro was hiding that. But to just see his energy level go toe to toe with Nicolas Cage in like the craziest situations, in the emotional situations, I think that they really played off of each other extremely well. They had fantastic chemistry. And I think that is the glue that held everything together in the second act, which I really enjoyed. After thinking it over a bit, the third act was the only thing that really bothered me because it fell to like generic territory. That's the only thing. The action sequences were basic. The reveal was kind of basic. And it just felt like they didn't know how to end this movie. It's still entertaining up until then. I had a lot of laughs. It was unique. But up until the third act, it was a lot of fun. It's very Nic Cage. So if you love him, then you will really enjoy this movie. And for those who remain kind of like neutral with Nic Cage, this will make you love him and kind of want to go back and watch some more of his work. And I think that's also really important because he has been flying under the radar. And I think after like National Treasure hit, I think that's where he kind of like fell off. His movie roles haven't been at the same level for whatever reason, but he's been taking these like small indies. He wants to work with different people, different directors, and create like a really awesome filmography that has so much variety. And I really admire that about him. Not only do they have like action set pieces, there are very strong emotional family moments. I'm a sucker for a father-daughter storyline. You guys all know that. So I really enjoyed this for what it was. I do give it like a 3.5 out of 5, maybe a 4. I think I have to watch it again to kind of see where the 0.5 lies. It's still a fun time. As long as you have a good story and you add the humor into it, even if it does feel a bit generic, you have the star power, which boosts it, kind of like The Lost City. And I think that's why The Lost City is like loved by so many, because it still plays within the genre, but it is elevated because of the stars on screen, and it works. It's a pretty decent script. So I really enjoyed The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I really like Nicolas Cage, and I'm going to start watching more of his stuff. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. You can always follow me over at AMX NDA Reviews on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent drops in theaters on the 22nd. So make sure you guys go watch it. I think you'll have a blast. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep watching movies.